Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Even though Fubara have embraced his fate and moved on, literally even thanking Mr. President for bringing a stop to all of the drama that was going on in River State, and has told Mr. President thank you. Apparently, his followers and those under his employ during his reign and time are not giving up. In fact, while Fubara has moved on, they have decided to take the fight personally, and they decided to regain back their mandate if Fubara is unwilling to regain back his mandate. You're going to find out in full details how they decided to take the legal battle to Ibas, who is the sole administrator in River State, according to the news. But before we go into the proper, kindly subscribe to our channel. According to the news, the chairman and members of the River State Civil Service Commission, appointed by the suspended Signal Fubara, have dragged the sole administrator Ibas and others to court over their suspension. Now, the claimant, which is Reverend Life Idioku Ben, Amadi Christian Echele, Chimenem Wisdom Jerome, and 3 others, are challenging what they described as their illegal removal by the sole administrator. Of course, they contended that they were legally appointed and confirmed by River State House of Assembly, and that before they were issued letters of appointment by the governor, records of their confirmation were with the clerk of the house. Now, according to an affidavit signed by the suspended chairman Ben, the claimant insists that the sole administrator lacks the legal power to suspend them and appoint a new chairman and members of the commission. It was also reported that when the matter came up for hearing as at some few hours ago, the legal team of the sole administrator, comprising about 5 senior advocates of Nigeria, filed their defense along with a notice of preliminary objection challenging the jurisdiction of the River State High Court to hear and determine the matter. They are also contending that by the combined provisions of the Emergency Powers Act 1961 and the Emergency Powers, which is Jurisdiction Act 1962, the proper court for such matters is the Federal Supreme Court, which they argued has since been modified by regulations of the President to what is now known as the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The legal team of the state's sole administrator also relied heavily on the aforementioned legislations to argue in their defense of the substantive suit that the administrator derives his powers to suspend and make appointments from those laws. However, the claimant's legal team, in their response, insisted that both the 1961 and 1962 Acts relied upon by the defense are obsolete, stating that under the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, CFRN, those laws are considered spent and are clearly listed as such in the laws of the Federation of Nigeria, LFN, 2004. Presiding Judge Justice Frank Onyiri thereafter adjourned the case to the 17th of June 2025 for adoption of all processes. Now, the whole battle has begun. But very quickly, let's look at the things that are really playing out here. My colleague is in the house. What's your take on this latest drama? Fubara has moved on. Thank Mr. President for suspending him. That is very grateful for being suspended, and that he has made peace and is following peace, and that he's very loyal. But the people he appointed said, well, if you are okay with the suspension, we are not okay. We are going to go by the law. Ibas does not have the right to suspend us. Appointments were duly given to us. We will follow the due process. If you are okay, if it is by law, they are comfortable with whatever law that suspended you as a sitting governor. We are not comfortable by whatever means or whatever laws that have brought in the sole administrator to have removed us. And for that reason, he needs to show us where the laws are that has given him such power, to remove us even though we're properly appointed. What's your take?
Well, personally, I think that this is just for me. For their moves, is quite it's commendable, but at the same time, it's a waste of time. Waste of time in the sense that, number one, the three-man House of Assembly that approved your appointment was declared illegal by the Supreme Court. That's number one. So if you were declared illegal by the Supreme, that's the three-man State House Assembly was declared illegal. Everything, appointments that were carried out, was also declared illegal. So that alone has sealed that case, because the Supreme Court gave a final verdict.
But they are saying, what power does Ibas City has to suspend them?
Now, the powers that Ibas have is by virtue of what had happened.
Yes,
normally, apart from Ibas coming into the whole show, when that verdict came out, the Supreme Court verdict came out, the next line of action, which was natural to have happened, is anything that was not approved by the Amowole's House of Assembly stands suspended, cancel everything, appointment and everything. He was supposed, if he needed to work with commissioners, he was supposed to submit a brand new list to the House of Assembly. And all those commissions, they were supposed to also submit a new list to them. If you check some of the reasons they gave for the impeachment of Similar Fubara, some of those things were stated. The fact that he had appointed the members, chairman and members of different commissions without getting due approval from their own House of Assembly. So their existence was already questionable. So whether this guy was there, or you're going to court about it, what right does he has to suspend you, and or what right does he have to suspend you, and all of that? It's total, because even if he didn't have any right to, the Supreme Court already had declared their appointment all invalid by first of all declaring illegal the three-man House of Assembly that approved the appointment. So the ideal thing is for them to have stand down, but before these guys wrote to them, the issue, the president had already suspended Fubara and suspended all the House of Assembly. A new body was announced. So everything about Fubara was pushed aside. It's a normal thing, because he didn't need people to work with in all the agencies. As far as he has gotten, the Ibas was being approved and appointed by the president. And the approval did not just come from the president alone. Even the National House of Assembly backed it, though it was illegal, But on the basis of that, the whole thing will be trashed. If they are questioning the appointment of Ibas, that it is not included in that is when the Supreme Court will start dilly-dallying about it, because no matter who takes that case to court, the Supreme Court will have to dance around it, because there's no valid provision in the Constitution that establish such.
But I believe if eventually gets to Supreme Court, they will be silent on that. They have a way of always being silent on issues they know that is very controversial.
Exactly.
But all right, that's going to wrap it up. Last bit in our conversation was to take. Let's brainstorm. What's your take? Something different. Say something different. I know, like you rightly say. It's your